Hey, ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Conor.
And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And as you can see, we're getting started already, so we'll make this super duper fast. We are playing over here on Vitebsk East. And Rang, who is duking it out and what they bring into the fray?
Well, on left hand side in blue, we have Mbet and Haymaker both playing 20th. One as Maverick and one as Vanguard, I believe, deployment. And on the
Mm-hmm.
right hand side in red, we have Philippe and Knohit Cop. I'm just going to call him Cop. Both playing as 26. One as Balance and the other one as Vanguard. Or Maverick?
No,
Maverick.
Maverick.
Maverick, yeah. Maverick's a B phase one.
Yep. So we've seen both these divisions a few times
Mm-hmm.
now. Interesting to see we actually have an Adoshka opening over here for Cobb. A little confused on that one, but that's okay. And Betson, for his own part, is opening up with a lot of P3s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about to the north? Actually, we have a Flampanzer early on, and ooh, first battalion of the 20th over here is bringing the boys to Stalin super super fast.
Indeed, they are. Indeed, they are. If I can.
Wait, are we having recon planes duking it back and forth?
Yes, yes, we are, Khan.
Oh, I think it's not going to happen very
Nope.
long because that biplane does not do well against 457s.
Oh no, 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 it does not.
12 sevens, excuse me. Surprised?
Oh, it's gonna get out. Got a
Did he?
P2. Is he gonna come in though? But good use. I really like seeing both sides using recon planes early on, as recon planes are really good to get an A phase. As in the C-44, you can scout out the deployment zone pretty easy peasy, and usually there's not much anti-air, so you have pretty much free reign of the skies to fly around and do your thing. Until the Germans bring out anti-air, as we see right now.
Yes, which is probably a good thing. I mean, you don't really want to be strafed too much.
Mm-hmm.
The flak, that's only 20 mil, so it's not that much. But interesting as well, we're actually going to see one of those a very, very up close and personal Obusier's 76.2 millimeter. Is going to engage that kind of scout position. And really, the
Yeah.
Russians, I think, are in a decent spot.
Yeah, they got good stronghold in the middle. Pretty much up north, it's looking, yeah, rather rail. I think it's really come down to 20th Panzer using rail their Panzers to try and make a push. They get a lot of these Panzer 3s and Panzer 4s out, so they're going to try and do a spearhead push.
Actually, what's really interesting, we actually have a ton of ground attack fighters out already. So
I
we have a
know.
Junker out, we have two IL-2s, we have an ME-109. Ooh, the Junker's going from the side, and he gets them. Wow, that's pretty
Wow.
damn impressive. Even and the Dushkas are not doing diddly squat.
Yeah, Disca truck. I mean, it is only 10 points. It's not the best thing in the world. I usually use it more for infantry support rather than AA, as you see. Just at 150 cal,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit pathetic.
Yes, it definitely seems that way. Now the IL-2, is he firing from that turret? Yeah, he's firing from the turret back there. But you
Mhm.
look, yeah,
Oh
wow. I wonder if
wow.
he got that kill. What if that was him?
I think it might. I think it might have been.
Well, if it is to get him, then the ME-109 is coming after him. He's looking to get a little bit of revenge, going after maybe after the other one over there. 20 mils to do a lot more damage to those little rinky-dink pop guns.
Mhm. I think they're gonna lose one IL2.
A pilot injured already. Yeah, 20
Yeah.
mil can't see him. But yeah,
The Messerschmitt goes and gets it.
he's probably got to pick up both on this one. It'd be very surprising if the other one makes it out. Yeah, no, he's not making
Yeah,
it.
he's bugging. That's gonna be some great kills there from Haymaker. I don't doubt really a lot of the Soviet air power off the bat.
Well, that's what you
Yeah,
got to do when you're a haymaker, man. You got to swing for the fences.
yeah, but even on the ground, it's looking pretty damn good for the Russians. Like it's like middle, like southern mid, not north, middle push. I'm trying to think of where the KV runners and the Guards
Mm-hmm.
infantry
Yep, yep.
making that breakthrough. That's lovely ground that Copper's managed to take. And if he could just move up some more infantry to capture the forest nearby, he'd be in a even better defensive position.
Yeah, but do you really want to go and try to test the Flampanzer?
Oh yeah,
It's only 160-meter range, but that's still, kind of close-ish. I guess I am surprised that the German tanks have not been able to take a much more firm stance. Actually, down south, this is kind of interesting. Um, in the same way that the Russians are pushing hardcore in the center, the Germans are swinging around the flanks. There is one Automachiki squad, and everything else is blue.
Yeah.
They have a blue half track with a blue window. And, yeah, the Automachiki's going to die pretty damn fast.
Yeah, this Mbets is going to be king of the hill rather soon and capture his command point. That should bring him to 13-11. And we do have a boy to Stalin coming in the southern middle side.
Well, there's already one to the north. Is he still up and running? Yeah, he's still up and running. He's still fine, so that's good. He's been able to get a couple shots off on his side. But you're right. Got that second boy to Stalin coming in, and he's already engaging a couple of anti-tank positions. No, he's going for the KV-1 in the middle, isn't he?
Yeah. And once he takes forever to reload, he should be able to snipe it. God, it is such a slow reload without any veterancy on that gun. It's a full 15 seconds.
Down south, we have an off-map Colin going after a lot of those Germans, but I think they're going to get out of the major blast zone within the 20 seconds that's left.
Yeah, they should be able to get out just in the nick of time.
Checking elsewhere, Germans are containing that push, although you are getting some Stroboviki coming on in as well with the flamethrowers. The Flampanzer versus flamethrower, who wins first? Well, it's not going to be the half track apparently.
Nope. They do have the Panzers on the hill. They're going to be engaged on the K. Oh no, the KV-1 sees the half track, but not the Panzers. At its range, it's really anyone's game when it comes to tank-on-tank fights. But the half-track comes in and gets 2 surrenders, almost free. That is...
You still might get that third.
Yeah.
He's going to swing around behind, but he's going to go right into all of that, grenades. That could definitely be a very, very quick rush to take him out.
But it's really been back and forth so far in this first, 7 minutes of the match. Both sides... pulling punches and pushing punches and all that good stuff.
And kicking punches and oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I do love seeing a good old kicking punch, I really feel like for the Germans, the southern side, it would be good to push because they have tanks, or it's a little bit open, which is a bit scary. But I think
kind of wonders if they drive north, see where that TOT barrage is coming on in. If they drive north from there, they could definitely pick up a couple of control points pretty damn fast.
Yeah, try to get onto that middle southern hill and then try to capture the town. I think that'd be a pretty good idea.
The off-map Collins, I don't know if this is just a current kind of patchy thing, but I'm not particularly impressed with the off-map Collins just yet.
Yeah. I really... On-map artillery is now pretty bloody good, where I find it kind of trumps the off-map. And that off-map calling that we saw was only 122mm, which is already the same caliber sort of gun that you can get with on-map artillery. So, yeah. Yeah, it is... one of the German divisions do have railway guns, like 210s.
Yes.
Which is good. Also good is the cluster bomber down south. That Panzer III is... gonna be... Oh no, it does survive the bombing run, and Kopp is gonna be able to retake a little bit of a foothold on that southern hill.
Yes, he is. I'm surprised the Automachiki aren't stressing, pushing him south just to pick him on up. In the meantime, though, the Soviets have completely found their central position reduced, to put it mildly.
Oh, yeah.
Pioneers coming in, though, too, so that's completely understandable. Pioneers against Guards in a straight-up fight, especially with the DPs and the Gewaltledungs, well, that's a tall order for the Guards to really be chowing down.
Yeah, this map is pretty much a lot of close-range fights. You've got the middle hill, the northern hill, and the southern hill. So yeah, all these CQC infantry is always a good choice. Another cluster bomber coming in down in the middle.
Yeah, that tank's already lost its crew, though, so...
Yeah. Yeah, the Messerschmitt should be able to get behind and kill it if he can just get... Yeah, he's going to get it easy peasy. And the Junker, or Stuka, up north, trying to strafe the IS-1, gets a driver knocked out, and that's about it.
And the Yak makes it out. There will be another Yak back. You're right, yeah, the IS-1 is, he does have a crew kill, so that's definitely very devastating. And actually, it's a 45mm as well, so that Recon P3 is going to have a field day for a while.
Yeah, he spots and he shoots. It's a 2-in-1 package.
Losing that IS-1, wow, that's actually that's a big loss right there. That's a lot of veterancy going down the tubes.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much like the heaviest tank that you can get for 26, and you only get one of them. You know, it's rather funny. 26, you know, they're big, you know, unicorn tank is an IS-1, and the German division outguns him with an IS-2.
Well, you know, I mean, the Germans are all about bringing the new model.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, by the way, we have a couple trip side of 120 mil mortars from the Germans. I want to say it's at Haymakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Or
divisional
bets.
and bets. The divisional artillery park is being set up, and I'm surprised the Russians haven't brought anything in themselves.
Yeah, it's pretty light so far, artillery for the 26. You usually see something. Oh, we're seeing a heavy gun being brought in now. I'm guessing they probably saved up for the B phase heavy artillery such as the 203s, the Andrusas, etc.
You know, I kind of feel bad for those guys who have to go and walk that stupid thing in.
It's not even walk, it's a really just slow drive.
And they're reversing it. Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive right there. You can't see reverse skills like that very often.
I know, right?
There's a big armored shove that's going to be happening to the north. Philippe is bringing in 3 KV-85s.
That's a lot of KV-85s. And yeah, in the middle, it's really pretty fair. Even Stevens in the middle. It's just about who can, you know, go around the corner and get the first shot over the enemy.
I'm mildly amused by the fact that there's flak 38s trying to engage at KV-1.
Stressing him out to hell, yo. That's he doing surprisingly good, jeez. That's doing surprisingly good, jeez. I'm really quite surprised.
Oh my god. I continue to believe that firing 20mm cannon shots at a tank should not blow it up when it's got
No,
that
that's a
much armor.
Panzer III.
Okay, I saw that was
Panzer.
a good
Yeah,
lord.
yeah. That was no Ray. That was the thing. The Panzer III came in and stole the kill. And now he's going to pay for it by being hit by the 45mm.
I do want to note that down south there was a Junker carpet bomb.
Yep.
And the yak says, hold my beer. Hold my vodka.
Up north knocks out one P3, and down south I don't think he's going to... Oh, he's going for the IL-2, but he gets IS-2. But he gets stressed out before he can drop the payload. And now we're seeing the Germans responded in kind. This is really what you got to do against 26 as an armoured division. You got to get the air power out. You got to just try to kill the Yak-9s as you can. Yeah, we got more Yak-9s being coming to protect the Yak-9 brethren.
Yeah, both these MB-109s are going to die.
Ew. Yeah,
they're just not fast enough.
Oh, I think one's going to get out, maybe. I actually don't really know the airspeed for a lot of the planes in game. I don't know if the Yaks are faster, like 580. But I know the German
I don't know, he does get out.
Does do fairly well. And same thing for 26. When you bring out his Yak cluster bombers, you need to keep the fighters with him. You need to have air superiority. Oh, it does lose one Yakio to AA. I think he's probably going to lose the second. Like I said before,
wow.
German 20, like these are just single 20mm guns, and they do some pretty damn good work now.
You know, I still need to learn exactly what each of those criticals does. I mean, pilot knocked out, that's pretty easy. The guy takes a little bit of a nappy voo, and he just goes in a nice straight line. Makes sense. Radiator damage, I don't know exactly what that does just yet.
Probably like slows down the plane.
Another cluster bomb on the center part of the map. P3 buys the farm.
And he is gone.
I do want to note that the boy to Stalin to the north, though, he's done really well for himself. He's got a couple of tank kills. He has basically shattered the KV-1 that has tried to come on forward. And while Philippe seems to think that his own mortars are going to be able to more easily engage the Germans than the converse... Well, if he thinks that, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of a rough idea.
Yeah, IS-2 up north is in a lovely position. Just on top of that hill, pretty much stops anything from getting anywhere close to it. But both sides are pretty much going neck on neck, still rather close, but the Germans are in the lead. It's really just coming down to this middle hill fight, I think, as we're seeing waves of infantry being thrown in here, just another platoon of panzer grenadiers being thrown into the fray.
True. At the same time, another carpet bomb going back, this time under German control, which is shocking.
And there's not much Russian AA, so that Stuka should be able to come in. And...
Whoa! For the record, I know I've complained about the carpet bombing. I will have to complain about the German side of that, too. Like, that still seems a little bit ridiculous. And, oh, green on green! Migrants and pioneers taking friendly fire. Pretty sure, anyway. Yeah, that would have been Haymaker's mortars.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. But the good thing is, though, is that with the KV-85s pulling back, Haymaker can push through and capture a nice chunk of this forest for the Russians to bring in some Guards infantry as we speak. The sniper's going to try and hold them back, but for how long? Not long enough, probably.
No. No, you'll get some stress out there, but your position's been compromised, and there he goes. Taking another look back at the bottom to see if the artillery park for the Russians has gotten themselves really kind of up and running. A 204 is to the... Oh, there's an Andreyusha there.
Oh, lovely.
And a 204 has got himself set up. I'm sorry?
There's also, like, you see his push coming with the Optimum Cheekies on an open field.
Or the ones that are running back the other direction now?
Yeah, he was trying to get to, I think, the hill, or the forest is below the hill here, but German machine gun and flak fire is enough to keep him at bay.
Well, one thing I wish we would see a little bit more of is aggressive smoke.
Yeah, in this game now, smoke is even more useful in SD44, because you've got a lot of open ground that you have to cover at points. And also, you can drop smoke much more easier because how the mortars fire in one big barrage. And speaking of barrage, the Andrewsha down south completely wipes out the flak. And up north, another Stuka.
Yep, I was checking the Stuka when he said the Andreyusha was firing, but there's going to be a dead KV-85. Or at the very least, a very, very panicked one.
And Russian's going to respond in kind. Oh, he's going for the half tracks, ain't he? Yep. They're dead.
Yes, but he blows it.
Oh! Only gets... Okay, he gets 3. And he does blow up as well.
True, but with that, though, I think the Germans take a bit of a firepower advantage in the center here. Yes, there is that one Sturmoviki still. And the officer does go down. But it's still not a great position to be in for the Rodina.
Yeah, and if they lose the hill, there's pretty much 2 command points right here, and that'll be a huge blow to the Russian,
everything.
Yeah, a huge blow to the Russians in general. Having the command points is pretty much how you win the game. So you want to have the command points.
Well, even more than that too. At that point, they get to go. They could just throw tons of infantry in there and just push either side of that map to put a holding force in place and then just shove everything else. Which really I'd like to see. Ooh, Germans say, "Oh, you have Andreyushas, we have Wolframens."
Oh yeah.
Why Germans have an accent like, men from Serbia, I don't know.
I don't know either, but they're definitely learning how to speak Serbian or Siberian.
Serbo-Croat, depending on who you ask. Yak's coming to the north, though. They're going to bomb the bejesus out of that boy to Stalin. And it does finally buy it.
Is one of them going to die? I definitely feel like both sides need to have more fighters up to some of these cluster bombers coming through.
I think they did, though. I think the problem with it is, unfortunately, both sides have lost an absolute metric butt ton. I'm using that term legitimately as a historical unit of measure.
Yeah.
Just like, here we go. Using out a command tank for a Ju-87. He's going to lose a Ju-87, but you know what? Trading for command tank, it's worth it.
Yeah, for the IS-1, it's worth it. Usually, the thing I find interesting about the cluster bombers is a lot of the time, if you get like a kill on a tank in ST-44 with an anti-tank plane, you usually only need to get 1, maybe 2 kills on like a medium tank to pay yourself off. But now, because tanks are cheaper and planes are a little bit cheaper, to pay yourself off with an anti-tank plane, you need to kill at least three, maybe 4 tanks, depending on what tanks they are, to pay yourself off. Long story short.
I wasn't even considering that, but I think you're absolutely right. I just got very distracted by first of all, the attempted Russian reinforcements trying desperately to get over to this forest, and the blue wave that's going the other direction.
Yeah, just all the German machine gun fire. The Russians will not be poking their heads out of that bridge anytime soon. But I think the artillery is going to be the Russian saviour, as we've got the Su-76s dropping in some barrages, and now it'll be a time for Haymaker to maybe, spread out the infantry a bit.
Or to double down and bring in some of his own artillery. We have 3 Vesps coming on in, so Haymaker says, "Oh yes, my friend has mortars. I take something a little bit more definitive." And actually, oh my god, and mortar rounds are already impacting on that supply column. Oh my gosh, this is actually perfectly timed.
Damn.
Oh my god.
That is brutal.
That actually legitimately put a huge kibosh on that push from the east. And that reinforcement is stillborn.
Slowly, but yeah, they're pretty much all pinned down now, so they're not going to get to the front line anytime soon. That's going to give the Germans enough time to try to get to the other side of the forest and capture that point. As really, once you capture that little road that goes up the hill, it's pretty much easy peasy from here on out. But Felipe is bringing out KV-1S, and fortunately for him, there's no real German AT nearby, so... Oh, except for the Wolframens. They're not AT, but they're the closest thing from up above. And
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Divine fire indeed. The Pigruns rushing forward. They can get any kind of captures here. This could be the collapse of the Soviet position.
Yeah. So close. It feels like the Germans need to bring up some tanks, but they don't have any tanks in the middle to really help with this push. It's really all just coming down to the Pigruns.
And a couple of random DP pioneers, too, which is just even more humorous to me. I also continue to love how the snipers are continuing to move west despite being freaked out.
I thought I said they fixed the pin down bug. Which is, yeah, you're not very much pinned down if you're running around like that.
We're pulling back. Which way? Towards the enemy.
We've got Sturmoviki maybe enough to hold us off. Yeah, they're a little bit clustered, I think.
I mean, the Batterie Führers, not really close enough to keep, I think, all of his command bonuses on people.
He's only getting the guys up north.
Kind of interesting. Philippe is running with a fair bit of veterancy. Hainbaker and Betts, I don't feel like they're doing quite the same amount of investment.
Yeah, I think for 20th Panzer, you don't have a lot of infantry slots, so you just quantity over quality, try to take the... Yeah, pretty much all take in the unvetted infantry just to have to see a mass of guys.
Well, here's the question. Is it better to have vetted material or numbers?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's really good pros and cons for each, because vetted infantry, like 2-3-star vetted infantry, are stupidly much more effective than 1-star infantry. But usually, you don't get that many. It's a really good trade-off. It really depends on what you're trying to build for. I don't think as a, like a non-choice, like you have to take, only vetted infantry. In SC2, both strategies work really well in their own ways.
Definitely seems fair. I feel terrible for this middle infantry. Good God. I mean, we have Andreyush just firing from the east. Su-76 is barraging. We have Wolframens going the other direction. I mean, to be anything other than a mouse on that field would be impossible. You'd be dead just way too fast.
Yeah, I'm just zooming in right now, and there's just craters and just craters galore all over this forest. But I mean,
we have Pigruns and Sturmovikis pinned down. Both of them are going past each other. I'm sorry, you were saying no, please.
Yeah, it's funny. The Russians have managed to pretty much stop that entire German push completely in its tracks, and now they are going to be doing the counter push as they got momentum. And now finally Haymaker has the tanks to try and reinforce. They could have been here a little bit earlier, but now he doesn't have much infantry, so it's going to be a little bit tough to hold.
True, but he also still has Vesps and Wolframen. Yeah. So yeah, some infantry is coming forwards. But that's gonna be a very minimal approach, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And that KV-1S actually does not. He's not able to engage the nearby Pigrins.
Oh yeah, it's just... Which is probably good for the KV-1S, it means you won't get Panzerfausted.
Very true. Oh, okay. And we're getting the Yak 9s trying to come in for some rocket runs. Look at it a little bit, but not that much.
No. Bro, people are actually bringing in planes that aren't cluster bombers or fighters. I'm
I
shocked
know.
and stunned.
Just like those troops were. I'd like to see the Wolframens fire right about now. Here we go. Yep,
There we
they're
go.
firing on
Look
the
out.
forest. That one Pigran's going to die. But in doing so, he will have held down the Soviets for just long enough.
He's called the artillery right on top of him as our last act.
Legitimately, I feel like I'm watching it's like a Tarantino movie.
It's just, yeah, it's so much bloody bloodshed. I would not, like you said, I would not want to be on this goddamn hill. The KV-1S is getting hit by the Panzers. And he's gonna make it out just in the nick of time, which is fortunate for him.
Yes, I was checking down to the south for a second. We have a bit of a stalemate happening there, too. The boy to Stalin continues to be up and running. He's got that Opel Blitz right next to him, just feeding him shells. He fires one off, another one comes back in. He fires one off, another one comes back in. Dueling with the Su-85.
Yeah.
And wow.
Wow.
That
Yep.
You're right. You called it before. I'm sorry. You called it before about the whole idea being the boy to Firefly. Yeah, this is the boy to Firefly for the 20th.
Yeah, he's using it in a really good position. He's not, because of the boy to Stalin, you really can't afford to lose it if you do bring it up. So you might as well play it safe, keep it in a nice defensive position, cover an open field. The Russians don't really have much that can frontally penetrate it, so you can just shit and exchange shots easy peasy.
I might be wrong. Okay, and Betts is bringing in some. Ooh, both have house trooping. Okay, that's good. I didn't see a bunch of us trooping before. We have the occasional group.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. We're going to have a cluster bomb attack, and then we're going to have us trooping coming in to almost kind of consolidate the area. But the Yak 9s are the other direction. Dear God, is this the meta? It really does feel like this is the meta. Is you have to have carpet bombing to get ahead.
Yeah.
Landing gear damaged, which is to say the wheels have been shot off.
You know, the Yak-9 is coming in. It's probably going to get the kill.
Yep. Yep. Checking back in on the meat grinder, that is the middle. There are no more Soviet vehicles. Soviet Truppen kind of getting wrecked. Despite the constant artillery fire, I still would not want to be anybody.
That hill is just absolutely terrible to be on. And it's a real shame for the Germans that they got pushed back, because they were so close to capturing those 2 command points. They are still in the lead here by quite a bit. They did manage to nab the command point in the southern middle, where the Russians managed to rest to initially at the start of the match. So, I mean, it's not going to be a fast victory for the Germans, but slow and steady, and they're pretty much going to make it, I think.
Yeah, this is very much a Roman kind of game here. 2 inches in the right area is fatal.
Mm-hmm.
Yak 9's coming for another rocket run. Excuse me.
Bomber
lofted bombs. There we go. Alright. But those poor Yak 9 fighters, bombers rather, come on. We have massive bombs and we can't kill anything. Meanwhile, these other dudes just kind of prance on by and nothing's a problem there.
Yeah. And PE-2 rocket planes coming in. One of them gets forced to fall back. The other one did manage to shoot off its load. Will the Messerschmitt get... Oh no, the AA does get the kill. Will the Messerschmitt kill the second PE-2U?
Yes, he will. This Ludwig guy, good God, this guy deserves a medal. I think he's been an instant ace in this. Well, he's now dead. Castor's curse.
And boom. And Kopp's still bringing out his recon planes, trying to spot the German lines at least, get a brief glimpse of where the artillery is.
Another Werframer barrage near the center, sort of. Gonna definitely engage that machine gun, no rinky-dink big deal there, and the Andreyusha fires back in return, so yep.
Yep.
More trades, as you might expect, and more death and destruction. Meanwhile, to the north, has been surprisingly quiet.
Yeah, neither side has really been wanting to really push. I mean, they're both just sort of accepted, hey, you got the hill, I don't have the hill, let's just leave it at that.
Yep, tomato, let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah, but it's really just coming down to this moon crater of what is the middle.
Well, you know that's where they had the moon landing, so if they took a World War II battlefield.
That's where they filmed the moon landing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. They just went to Vitebsk.
Yes, they did. Automachiki engages Pigrens, and... okay, guys, if you were any further out, those PPS just wouldn't do squat, but you're way too close. But that's alright.
Yeah. There's Soviets bringing a bit of an armoured push onto the hill. A few
the
KVs.
Oh, there's a couple of Su-85s moving on in as well.
Oh, yeah, down.
Another artillery piece as well. But yeah, you're right. The KVs moving forward with the KV-1S in support. And I don't know, short barrel P3, don't think that's going to do a whole lot.
Oh yeah, the short barreled one is pretty much buggered when it comes to any armor engagements.
But in any case, there still are a couple of P4s. Loader's been killed on a P3. Oh no, wow. Werframen could do some issues though.
And there's also a cluster bomber and a Stuka attack plane coming in.
Well, the Mr. Bomber, no big shakes there. Wow, he fired once and killed the KV-1S.
That's pretty good shot. Must have got him right in the turret ring. The Yakinine gonna get the Stuka.
And he nearly takes out one of the Werframens with his death. Legitimately, the Werframen picked up some stress. Had he not backtracked, it was like watching a cartoon for a second. The safe falling towards his head, our intrepid hero, step out of the way. And yet Philippe is running dry. He's bringing the maximum AAs like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, both sides just need to get that AA out to shut down those bombers. As you see, once the Russians get some anti-air on the field, they can pretty much shut down the Stuka cluster bombers before they can even get close. It's just a matter of fact of getting the anti-air. And usually for 26, it's more of like a C-phase anti-air division, because you want to get those street M15s. Just absolute lovely anti-aircraft piece.
So I have heard. You know, the thing I am enjoying, though, is we're seeing some intermixing of the various commanders. Again, it's always nice to see when people have... It's not just a 1v1v1v1. The intermixing of the lines. I mean, down south, M-Bets did try to throw in some Osttroppen. That push was pretty much stillborn, but that's okay. The idea was there. I appreciate it nonetheless.
Yeah, both sides have really been... I'm looking... Philippe's pretty much the only one on the hill on his side. Betts and Haymaker are both contributing to the hill push. So where is... Yeah, I think Seacop is mainly focusing pretty heavy just down south, and he has a lot of artillery as well, so he's bringing in all the RT support.
This is Su-76s? No, the Su-76s are Philippe, at least.
Yeah. All the artillery down south is pretty much cops. And he is actually trying to do a push on the southern hill. He's got 1, 2, 3 T-34s ready to move up. You know, they are getting hit by artillery before the push even begins.
And the penals are there, too.
Yeah. And extremely, the bloody 3-star T-34s, so they can do some serious bloody damage. And now the penals are making the push. And this could... He's probably going to need some more reinforcements to take this, but this could be a good capture for Cop.
If they can get across the open ground, and they're not pushing, they're just stopping to fire. No, you got to press that attack. You got to get into the trees. the one thing I think you have to always be very, very careful of. If you know the enemy's in that particular spot, is it better, do you think, to stop and engage or to push for the cover first and then engage?
Oof.
Like, of course, you could make. I'm sure you can make the case that it's such a situational move.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
depends. But if you're out in the open, the enemy's in prepared positions. If you have no smoke,
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you're an SMG squad, then of course you want to get close. I think usually the better option is probably to stop and then just shoot back, because if you're moving and shooting, you're not really hitting much and your machine guns aren't firing.
true, true.
So I'd say if like more regular infantry, it's probably best idea to try and stop and engage. It's not a good idea, a good position to be in. It's also not good to be cluster bombed by Ju-87.
And that might be the end of all three of those.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Oof.
going to be deadly, but he really shouldn't have clustered your T-34 so close. That was kind of his own doing there.
You know, okay, and we've talked about this to a certain
Yeah.
extent. If that was a cluster attack, was over, maybe 40 meters radius, I'd be okay with that.
That's a small radius, yo. I'm looking at it. It's probably like 60 meters, maybe 50 meters for the Stuka, which
But,
is
but look
fair.
how long it is for the Yak. The Yak is like 4 times that. It's a huge swath. You said, I remember at one point saying, you know what, all he needs to do is just not cluster his
Yeah.
forces.
But with the Yak, it's more dispersed. Like as you saw that Panzer IV did manage to survive. Where if you look at the cluster pattern for the Stuka, it's a smaller radius, but whatever's in that radius is going to die. So it's kind of a
6 of one, half a dozen of another.
yeah. It's like do you want an accurate barrage that does lots of damage, or an accurate barrage that does less damage? And the second one comes in and does get the kill.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, cluster bombers is weird. We already talked about it before in the cast. I think
Yes.
my position so far is that they are really powerful, but if you set up good AA and anti-air, you can completely shut them down, easy peasy.
True, especially the German ones. The German ones are just way too damn slow.
Yeah, and the Germans as well. I mean, the Yaks are fast, but you can get really good AA for the Germans. You need to get that AA up, and once you get up a good anti-aircraft net, those cluster bombers pretty much become irrelevant.
I might be wrong, but I think the Soviets have just kind of resigned themselves to their fate.
Yeah.
There's some minimal moves moving forward. I mean, on that southern hill, with that 76 mil right in the middle of the that open plain, little round top, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
He is very proudly and bitterly contesting the P4 and the Boy to Stalin. Not sure I'd be as plucky as he would, but like I said before, the Russians are pretty much tapped on infantry. At least that's what it seems to be
Yeah,
after
yeah.
recent call-ins.
I mean, both sides really threw everything they had into that hill, and the Russians just could not come out on top. The Germans gave really good aggression early on. I think probably both sides really could have exploited this northern area if they actually decided to push here, open up another front, because it's one of those matches where you see the tunnel vision where both sides just focus on one area in particular and just throw everything in there, and nothing really happens, because it's just Andrusas and Fragments and artillery galore.
Yep. I will say one thing. I do like this collection of Vesps. Very lucky for him that the Soviets did not get more frisky in that area.
Yeah, yeah. I do like how he does have his artillery, mostly spread out. I mean, some of them are a little bit too close to comfort, but yeah, that's a lot of bloody artillery call-ins.
And shockingly enough, we actually have a Martyr 1. I don't think we've seen a Martyr yet with the 20th Panzer, but now we finally do.
Oh yeah,
very surprising.
Here we go. Not a bad little TD. Nice and pretty cheap. Yeah, 45 points.
But that will be roughly about it. So M-Bets and Haymaker, it seemed like they were swinging wildly early on, but they kind of got themselves collected. They cooled themselves off, despite all those flamethrowers moving through their center, and pulled out a rather effective win.
Yeah, they held the hill. They're king of the hill. The king of all, well, almost all three hills. The southern hill Cop is pushing again with 3 more T-34s, but it's a little bit too late, and he doesn't have the infantry support.
Indeed. But that will be, as they say, that. Well, congratulations to the 20th Panzer in this particular case. Well done. No one really carried the day either, which is even more interesting to me.
Yeah, it's pretty even all out. Nothing really too standing out, yeah. Looking in kills, that little 45mm Pronin did some serious work. Knocked out
Yikes.
1, 2, 3, 4 Panzers and a Panther 3N.
I like how you consider a Panther 3 to not be a tank.
Well, you see, Eugene actually put it in the support slot, so I don't consider it a tank.
Are you pushing your spectacles up your nose right now?
I literally did. I literally did, yeah, in real life. When I said, yeah.
And losses in the meantime. Well, nothing here is really too devastating. But then again, of course, this is only from Haymaker. Or going after what? I'm sorry. Going after, what's his name? Good God.
It's one or the other. I mean, we can't tell because they're both of the same division.
Yeah, it's driving me crazy. But, yeah, there were some really effective airplanes out there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, good play from both sides. Just a bloody meat grinder on that hill.
Indeedy do. But, folks, that'll do it for us for this particular 2v2. As always, if you like what you see here, hit people up in the comments, talk about it with us. We love to chat. But, Rang, any pearls of wisdom from you to close us out?
No.
Okay, well, folks, in that case, we'll see you all soon. I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.